Hey guys, Christmas is only a couple of weeks away, so I wanted to share with you a recipe that is inspired by one of my favorite stocking stuffers, the After 8. Now, we're not going to use the After 8, you can if you want to, but this one's on sale right now at Shoppers Drug Mart. And it's actually really good. It's the President's Choice brand, 70% cocoa mint. So if you're not sure of what an After 8 is, it's a piece of chocolate with some mint nougat in the center. It is so good. And I could probably eat one of these in a day, but I've learned to withhold. So these last a little bit longer. But I have eaten 6 already, so who knows. Also, please excuse my voice. I have had no voice for the last week, and I thought it would be back by now, but as you can hear, it's still a little bit raspy. By the end of this video, I may not be talking, but we will see. So the recipe itself is from the often mentioned Brownies recipe book. And they're just called mint brownies. Very straightforward. I love chocolate and mint together almost as much as I love peanut butter and chocolate together. So these are some of my favorite brownies to make, but I don't make them very often because Brian is not a big chocolate and mint fan. And, you know, I try to make things that he'll eat as well so that I don't get as big as a house. I've adapted this recipe slightly, so you will find a link to my adapted recipe at the website in the description box below. So let's get started. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees and I have a greased and lined brownie tin, where is it? Right here. Ready to go. And side note, if you're feeling very festive right now and you're looking for that perfect scent to just fill your house that isn't a baked good, check out this candle. It's the 'Tis the Season candle. It's from Bath & Body Works. It is Christmas in a candle. It smells like apple and pine. It's equal parts fruity and fresh. It's phenomenal. Oh, there's a bit of cinnamon, I think, in there too. It's the best. It fills up your whole house. I feel like I'm in a winter wonderland right now. Okay, I said we'd get started and we haven't gotten started yet, so let's just do that right now. I'm gonna put my dry ingredients in a separate bowl here. There aren't very many ingredients, so you could probably get away with putting them all in one bowl, but because I'm using both cocoa and flour, I like to mix those two together really well before I add them to the wet mixture. So that's what I'm going to do. What is on the top of your Christmas wish list this year? I don't really want anything. It's crazy. I can't think of a single thing that I could possibly need in my life. Maybe a second camera. That would be nice. Then I could do some above the head shots at the same time. You could see what I'm actually doing. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I want for Christmas. Maybe I'll just get it for myself. Okay, so we can set this aside for now while we do the wet ingredients. So next we're going to take our semi-sweet chocolate. It's 4.5 ounces, and we're going to pour in 1/2 cup of butter. And I'm just going to throw this in the microwave until the chocolate chips are melted. And once the chocolate is melted, just give it a good mix. Now I just need to find a candle that smells like chocolate, but I think that would be extremely dangerous. There is a chocolate factory, not even close to where we live, but it's within a 5-kilometer range. And if the wind is blowing right on the right day, you can smell chocolate. The whole air is just filled with chocolate. It is so delicious. The best way to wake up in the morning. Okay, now we're going to add our eggs. And mix those in. Make sure you give it a good mix. Next up is the sugar. Again, give it a good mix. It's always important to really mix your wet ingredients before you add the dry ingredients to them, because you should never overmix once the dry ingredients are in, especially when it comes to brownies. Okay, now we're going to add our flour mixture. I think what I love most about brownie recipes is that there are so many different variations, and each recipe has its own little flair. So it's almost like you're constantly testing to find your favorite brownie recipe, which is part of the fun of baking. So you only want to mix until the dry ingredients are just blended. All right, here is our batter. It's looking good. Now grab your baking pan and pour 1/2 of the batter into the pan. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah. It was inevitable. I should have known I was going to drip on the table. no matter how hard I tried not to. So now I'm going to take the mint chocolate pieces, and it's okay to leave them whole. This is what they look like if you've never seen them. They're little squares. So you can leave them whole and just sort of drop them in place, or you can break them up. I'm going to break them up a little bit because they are a little large. So I'm just going to break them into 4s and spread them over the batter. I just love baking for Christmas. There's something about baking in the month of December that feels different than baking any other time of year. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the chunks, if you can see. And now just pour the rest of the batter on top. And spread it evenly, just being careful that you don't bring the mint pieces with you. Now it's time to throw these in the oven. These will go in for about 25 minutes. What you want to do is just take a cake tester, if you have one, or a toothpick, that works too, and just insert it into the middle. And as long as it's not gooey when you bring it out, then it should be fine. They're all ready. All right, let's just cut this up. I'll insert a cutaway so that you can see them from up close. As per usual, I'm taking these with me somewhere tonight, so don't want to dig into them too much. Ooh. Just how I like them. They are slightly undercooked. I just cooked mine for 20 minutes rather than 25 because I do like that gooiness of a slightly undercooked brownie. And you can't actually see the mint chocolate pieces. If you get pieces that are a little bit thicker, that have more minty nougat in them, then you'll be able to see the little bits of mint, like the white bits of mint. But these were pretty thin on the mint and heavy on the chocolate. So the nougat has just sort of like melted into the batter, which sounds pretty good if you ask me. These are really tasty, and they're just perfect for this time of year when candy canes are really popular, and just mint and chocolate are like very Christmassy to me, very festive. So if you do like that flavor combination, I would highly recommend giving this recipe a try. It's pretty easy, as you can see. There aren't very many ingredients. It doesn't take too much of your time. And it's something that's great to bring to a group of people. I love baking things like brownies or blondies, square-based items rather than cookies and stuff, because they don't take very long to bake. You only need to put them in the oven once rather than doing batches. And you have something that can feed up to 16 people if you cut them small. I mean, probably 8 people would be happier with one of these because then they can have more than one. But you know what I'm saying. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Christmas recipe is, because I would love to give it a try. I have one more Christmas recipe coming up next week. I'm thinking of doing pillow cookies, so tune in to find out what those are. And then for my last video of 2016, I will be doing a compilation of bloopers, which should be pretty funny. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for new videos every Thursday. Have a great day and happy baking! So I wanted to share with you a very festive recipe that is inspired by one of my favorite stocking stumpers.